Welcome to Get Scared, our fun little spooky treehouse pal around where each week we talk about something spooky. Oh my God, something scary.
Oh, I thought he was going to follow up with
another noise.
Little Shane.
Or sometimes nothing like that at all. If that sounds good to you, then it's time to
Get scared. You did a good job catching up there. You really...
I thought he was going to do a spooky noise after
Sorry. I was going to do something that was going to be...
spooky. You said...
The thing is, I was going to do something, but then I was like, this is a bad idea. I was going to whine like a baby. I was going to go, because I'm still pending
idea.
baby. But then I was like, I can't do that at the beginning of the show.
At the beginning.
It kind of reminded me of... did you see the Thunder had won the NBA championship yesterday, Steven?
Did, yes.
And in the end...
Look, we can't talk about sports.
This has a relevance because he was giving the acceptance speech for getting the finals MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And he was like, I just want to do a special thank you to all of our friends and family who've supported all of us and helped us, play basketball. And then one of his teammates behind him who was like just clearly just...
What's his name? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but he had this beautiful sentiment about like thanking Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
How do you spell that?
You don't need to get hung up on that detail. But
his first name's Shai Gilgeous?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's the MVP of the league and also the finals MVP. And he was thanking his friends and family for supporting and like allowing him to have the lifestyle. And his teammate right behind him after he said that went... just like Amigos rap kind of like improv like you just did, Steve.
I tried to do it, but scary. That was the idea behind that. By the way, I'm sorry for scaring all of you guys with my face. But
did we prematurely in the last few episodes where we were like, did we say Steven was going to be gone?
Well, we mentioned it, but we haven't. We know we've always said that we don't know when
his baby's not here yet.
Yes, this is part of having a baby. If you've never had a baby before, let me update you.
It's
on
not
the protocol.
there, and then it's there.
You have a due date. The due date, actually, our due date is around this time that we're filming this episode. But babies can be born anywhere between 3 to 4 weeks of the due date or even after.
3 weeks?
You are technically full term at 37 weeks. And the full pregnancy is 40 weeks. So I have just been waiting on call. There's actually an ideal time for the baby to come out. And our OB was saying, if possible...
You're an OB?
You have an OB?
OB-GYN.
Oh, okay.
OB-GYN, yes.
I just imagine Opie in a little
my
doctor's
doctor
outfit.
is not your cat.
A talking cat with a little clipboard. What do we got here? Let me take a look at your chart.
I love that.
Take a guess. What week of the pregnancy is the quote-unquote ideal week to give birth?
I would imagine the one that you're quoted as your due date, right?
So you're saying 40?
Is that what the quoted...
I think they think 38.
38?
I don't know. What are you guys talking about?
It's 39.
39.
And it's because the baby is fully developed, but a little smaller. And so it's easier for the baby to excavate
right
the
out.
premises. Yeah. Yes.
I think I weighed 11 pounds when I came out.
No
That
way.
sounds heavy.
Yeah,
That's not right.
I was a week late
And dry as
and
hell.
dry as hell.
No, but 11 pounds is actually, there's no way.
They said I was
so you've never been on
Did
time.
you just like
They said it was
up? Were you dry because you...
Feels good.
very good.
Well, you got it.
very
this
good.
week. I like that you
queued it
brought
up.
along a laugh track and an applause, and the first time you've used it is on yourself.
I have an applause. I have a laugh for Ryan
That's pretty good.
because a lot of the stuff you say is for
Childish.
children.
Yeah, I was supposed to be I guess I was a really big baby, and then
Well, that never changed either.
never translated to my physicality in real life.
Well, 11 pounds is actually, there's no way. I want to ask Linda Bergara if you were 11 pounds, because that seems...
Get her on the horn.
That's very unusual. That would, yeah.
That's a big baby.
Oh, you're actually calling her.
Yeah, please, in the state of California, tell her she's being recorded.
I'm calling my mom right now.
She gonna pick up?
Probably not. She never picks up my calls.
Damn. This is gonna be rough.
Leave a voice message.
Hi, I'm just screening my calls, wondering if I should answer or not.
Hey, Mom, I don't ever leave you voicemails. I'm recording the podcast right now. I'm pretty sure I recall you saying that I was like an 11-pound baby, like a very large baby. Or was I 11 inches and I was 7 pounds? I can't recall.
That's very different.
7 pounds is not that big, right?
7 pounds 3 ounces is the like average weight of a baby.
Okay, then I must have been 11 then. Because she told me I was a massive baby. Or she could have just been like, I went through all that trouble, squeezing you.
Well, Linda, let us know.
Voicemail?
This is a voicemail still. Anyways, if you get this voicemail in the next hour, call me back because we're recording the pod. All right, bye.
No,
Wow.
No, love you.
We don't say I love you.
No,
in
I
my
love
family.
you, mommy.
It's really it's an Asian thing. It's very rare. Steven,
Yeah.
you say I love you at the end of your calls with your mom?
We do now. We didn't. It grew over time as my parents became more Americanized.
Sometimes my mom will and I will text it to each other, and it feels like a special moment.
Do you do it to your brother? That's where I
No.
Nobody loves Jake.
Jake.
Oh God.
I don't think I've ever actually heard Jake say I love you. Like not to just me, but just like vocalize those words in that order.
Wow.
It's just we're not a very affectionate family.
Yeah.
Like I recoil from physical affection too, like hugs and stuff like that. I think that's pretty obvious.
But then also you purple nurple me, so I don't understand
That's a different kind.
That's the way
his
they
way of
show
love.
love.
I see.
Well, guess what, folks? Today we're going to be talking about Ouija boards on this
Ouija.
episode of Get Scared. This episode is rated Ouija 13.
That's pretty good. That's good. I think that's good.
I'll not ever use that again. Sorry.
Is it actually a way to communicate with the other side? Is it baloney? I lean toward baloney. And I don't lean. It's bullshit. It's garbage bullshit. But we'll talk about it.
You know what's funny is I wrote bullshit in there, and then I changed it to baloney because I figured it would be
It's
the
too
top
intense?
of the episode.
Yeah.
Well, no, not the top no more.
No anymore.
Now
We've
we're
already
deep
made some
enough.
calls.
We're
What's releasing this week on Watcher TV and YouTube? Well, we'll tell you.
Well, this week we're going to have Ghost Files debrief, the final debrief of the season. In fact, actually, it's going to be, if you are a Watcher TV member, we're going to be previewing one of the live debriefs for YouTube. So that'll be really fun.
That last live debrief was a lot of fun.
We had a great time.
Oh yeah, I hopped in there too
That was
for a
very
hot
good.
second.
That was a very good time.
That's
So
gonna
And
be
that's
great.
the one that's coming out.
That's the one
Yeah.
that's going to be coming out on
That's the one
YouTube.
we'll
So
put
I'm
on
excited,
YouTube.
excited for
Yeah.
you guys to see that. And then what else do we have on Watcher TV? I think, is it Mystery Files?
I believe so, mon frere.
Also, shout out to everybody who came out to our VidCon live recording of Get Scared, where we had D-Tune on because Shane was at a wedding.
I was at a wedding. I had my parents in town.
We would have had D-Tune on anyway, though.
Yeah.
But it was nice to have D-Tune there and nice to see all of your guys' faces. And we'll hopefully get that episode out soon.
Yeah,
It's a fun time.
It'll either be next week or the following week. We're just waiting on the stuff back.
But it was a fun time. It was our first time doing a live podcast in person. We've done live Get Scareds, as you all already know, on Watcher TV, but to do one out in the wild, very, very fun. I hope we could do more of them, honestly. I just
Yeah.
love doing things live and seeing all of you guys and, feeling that communal space.
Did you talk to the audience at any point?
We did. We
Oh,
opened it up for
We took
questions.
questions.
Oh, that's fun.
And it was pretty back and forth pretty much the whole time.
Oh,
We
that's
had,
fun.
Someone saved.
They didn't save me.
They saved you.
No.
You'll find this out. But Steven was trying to say something, and then an audience member.
I
was
didn't
like,
try. I said it.
He attempted to.
I said it well.
You attempted to recount an
and the
idiom.
audience member
and you-
was like,
An idiom?
Yo,
He did. He attempted to recount an idiom and he kind of freestyled.
Steven confused a room full of people, and then one person was like, I know what Steven's saying. He
Yeah.
knows what Steven's saying.
Well,
and then
no.
Steven tried to recount what that person just said.
And then messed that up.
and it worked
too.
really well. Look, I
What
say
idiom
things.
did he blow?
And then that person actually got on the mic later in the episode and said, just want to make clear, Steven did do a bad job of explaining that. I
That's
thought
good.
that was pretty funny.
It's a
I'm
good-
excited
it's a
to
good
hear it. I'm
the idiom-
sorry I couldn't be there with everybody.
No,
It was
it's
crazy.
okay.
Also, idioms, they're not meant to have you like put your own spin on it. Give us your
No,
take on
it
this.
was. Look, the way I said it made perfect sense.
Well, you'll find that out in 2 weeks.
And people are going to vote on that in the comments. Let me know and please back me up. I need somebody to back me up in the comments.
He was
And-
like, you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. But Steven was like, you could lead a horse to water because horses like water. And sometimes if the horse is thirsty, maybe.
That's not the actual one. But yeah, it's like that. It was like that. I was like telling a story about a horse.
You were like George Bush when he was trying to say the penny saved, penny earned.
Either way, though, people were telling me that I was catty in that episode. I was not catty, by the way. I was.
No one said you were catty.
Sam told me I was being catty, and I was like, I said I just was logical. And people are like, oh, you filled the Shane role perfectly. I was like, no,
appreciate that.
I was just saying logical things.
And dare I say this in the podcast as well, but I'd like to say it now to your face, Shane. You talk a big game when it comes to having other investigators on the show. You're like, I'm going to let them have it.
Did Steven let him have it?
And then they get there and you get to the location. You're like, hi, I'm Shane. And that's really good. Oh, what do you got there? And then Steven was not having it. He was giving it.
No, I wasn't.
Well, but he can also fly in and do that. And then the entire audience isn't like, he's being too mean to him.
Right. It's interesting because I remember Ryan saying his first impression of me was in a meeting, and I was like telling my boss, like, I don't understand what your face means.
Yeah, Steven's always been very blunt.
I just say things as they are.
You also have to say the context of the interaction. We were in a group, like a team, an all hands team meeting on this long table. Our boss was giving us some spiel about like strategy. He paused, looked over at Steven, and was like, "Sorry, Steven, what's wrong? You're." Steven, he stopped the meeting to acknowledge that Steven looked like he was disturbed. And then Steven said to him, I just don't know what your face means right now.
Yeah, I did that. That was me.
I'm with you on that. There's quite a lot of times in meetings where I have to go, I don't know of another way to say this. It doesn't sound rude.
Yeah.
But here is the thing I want to say.
Yeah, I just didn't have that first part. I'm more efficient than you.
Yeah. Well,
Less words.
Well, then you're apologizing more later.
That's true. Either way, it was a fun time. We should do more live stuff. And we miss you, Shane.
Yeah, I was bummed. It was fun to see all the reports from the show. The wedding I went to was very fun. I got to walk a dog down the aisle.
Amazing.
Oh.
What
kind of dog?
She's like a pit mix of some kind. Big old burly gal. She sort of looks like an Ottoman with legs.
Was she pulling you, or was it like a nice little?
She really was
jump?
pulling me. She took a big dump right before the ceremony, and I was so happy because I was like, "Oh my god, this could have happened." While I was standing up at the front.
Well, you were out in the national parks, right?
It was up in Franklin Canyon, which is where they shot the opening of the Andy Griffith show.
Yes,
among many other, I think, small.
The movie we shot partly there too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
yeah. It's a fun location. Ryan, who got married, I've been friends with since junior high or so, and we actually both
a lovely man
moved out here together and got an apartment together. So him and I go way back.
Nice.
Yeah. What was did you see any animals? Like a beaver or something like that?
Did I see any animals?
I've never seen a beaver live.
You've never seen a beaver live?
In person.
Oh, it's good.
I know.
You got to see those tails.
I couldn't even fucking imagine,
It's
dude.
good.
They're little engineers.
Sometimes, also,
Chunky tail.
Every now and then I'll see you ever seen a muskrat?
Wait, hold on, my mom's
Your mom's calling. Your mom calling.
Hello?
Hey, did you hear my voicemail?
Tell her she's being recorded.
You're
This
being
is
recorded.
California.
You're being recorded right now.
Okay. I won't swear.
No, you can swear.
I can?
Yeah.
Don't tell her that.
Okay.
But mom, I just was trying to recount. I recall I was a pretty chubby baby, right?
It was all your head. Remember, that's why I called you bowling ball head.
I do remember that. But I was also very dry because I was late. Because Steven's due any second now. And I was wondering, is it better for the baby to be late or early? And I remember you said I was late, and that's why I was so huge when I came out. I recall you saying I was 11 pounds.
No, 11 pounds. No, you're almost 9 pounds.
There it is.
I'm pretty big.
But I'm a small person.
Yeah.
Yes.
What, was I 11 inches? Was that what it was?
Huh?
Was I an 11-inch long baby?
11 inches? You mean you're smaller than a foot? No,
Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense.
2 inches.
22 inches.
22.
That's a long, heavy baby.
Can you imagine if I was 11 inches though and 9 pounds? That's
I just
dense
imagine that.
baby, dude.
It would be a bowling ball.
You just throw me
the
down
head.
the lane without bumpers.
That's how big.
Okay, no, I just sent you a picture of we put on the front lawn when you were born.
Back to the microphone, please.
What'd she put on the front lawn?
Oh, yeah. Okay, this is the sign I remember. It says,
Yeah.
it's a picture of the stork,
Ryan, November 26th,
1990,
1990.
8 pounds to 12 ounces, 22 inches. Proud parents, Steve and Linda.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
and then you also gave me stats of what your body was. I don't know if you want me to share those, but I'm.
Well, because I was a small person.
You want me to say it, Mom? It's
It doesn't matter.
102
I'm a very
pounds,
small
5'1". I gained 60 pounds with you. I think your head was 7 pounds and the rest of your body was 1.12 pounds. Very good.
Okay, bye.
All right, see you, Mom. Bye.
Wow.
Yeah, okay, 11 is crazy. I was 9 pounds and 15 ounces, and that was massive.
I don't know how heavy I was.
Never heard of over a 10 pound
I'd be
baby.
curious how heavy you were, Shane.
I was an ugly baby. The ugly
That
fucking
scans.
baby. Thank you. I appreciate
Why does that scan?
Consistency. He's a
I've
consistent
heard ugly
person.
babies turn into beautiful people.
I've heard that too, yeah.
So that scans.
But that wasn't the case with you.
Is that true? I've heard daughters become mothers and turn into
Ugly
lovers.
duckling, then that's quite literally a story about an ugly baby becoming. Yeah.
All right.
I like to think Matt was born with a mustache.
Hey, pretty much.
We're just muttering.
Okay, and I do want to say thank you all for the comments.
Yes, I am here.
All the comments are saying,
Matt said.
congrats on your baby.
Yeah,
You don't need to do that anymore because I have now blue-balled y'all for like 3 weeks now.
Nope.
I've teased you for too long. So no need to congratulate. I've gotten it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Edgelord, dude.
By the time this comes out, you might have that post up there.
He'll be in college by the time this comes out. It feels like.
Who knows?
It feels like I'm waiting forever. Is what I'm saying.
We'll get him. We'll get him to brand a deal with IndaCloud.
That's right, dude.
So we had talked a little bit about Ouija when we were doing the Annabelle episode.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan was like, "What's the deal with Ouija boards?"
Yeah.
What's the deal with Ouija boards?
Yeah, exactly.
And so I did a little research because I wanted to find out. So we'll be talking. Today's a Ouija episode, and is that how you say it?
Ouija.
Ouija.
What,
Ouija?
Talk to me about your experiences with the Ouija board.
So the common mispronunciation, do people say Ouija?
People say Ouija.
Ouija board.
I used to say Ouija.
Ouija's more fun.
Ouija is fun.
Also the name of that crime scene photographer, Ouija. Remember him?
Can I share my thoughts on Ouija boards?
Absolutely, Steven. That's
Do you have
why got a
experience with them?
microphone.
I don't, and I want to say I might be more or less absent from the conversation here because I will say, I've said this in the past, I don't want to mess with spirits. I'm pretty sure Ouija boards are complete bullshit and,
But why risk
manufactured
it?
by Parker Brothers and whatever. But exactly. I'm not trying to invite this energy into my life. I'm happy to listen and learn. But I personally, I'm out. I have nothing to say, but I'm just telling you, like, I'm not interested in inviting demonic energy into my life.
Have you ever touched a Ouija board?
I have. I did touch it at when we went to the gin palace. There was one in the basement.
Did they have one down there?
They did?
Wait, did I not? Was there not one in the
They
basement?
may
I
have.
don't think. I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell because you had your eyes closed the entire time.
They
That's
did
true.
have stuff
You were
down
praying.
That's true.
Not even a joke.
You know what? I think they did.
Did they?
I think
in
there
the-
was
in the
one
little
down
room.
there.
Oh,
They
interesting.
play into it a bit because I think that room is not really used for anything other than like, well, there's ghost here.
And storing kegs.
Yeah.
But the idea of it, from my understanding, is that you are inviting what?
You're opening the door.
Opening the door,
Opening
right?
the door. Yes.
I ain't about
Communing with
that.
the dead.
Whether that's through a Ouija board or through like just looking up at the sky and inviting it. I'm not inviting that energy or that spirit into my life.
Yeah, I don't. Well, actually, let's go to Shane. What do you
What do you want from me? It's garbage. It's garbage. None of it's real. Anytime, if you think that a Ouija board has a planchette, it's called.
It's the little thing that everyone holds.
Yeah, if you think that has moved on its own and that you've heard something from the dead, you have been bamboozled by someone else who is either your friend or whoever you were doing it with. That's what it is. It's just people moving it. It's all nonsense. And if you insist that it happened, then I think you're very gullible.
Okay, I modified my stance. I agree with Shane that I believe that the board itself represents nothing but tomfoolery.
Yeah.
But the act of trying to open those portals and
That's what you don't like.
where I'm like, I'm out. So
you do think that the board has some sort of connection?
I'm not saying the board specifically, but I think that people trying to access the spiritual realm in a demonic way is scary. And I believe
The board is a tool.
it could be.
And you can use a hammer to hammer nails into a wall to put up a shelf, or you could claw someone in the skull with it. The hammer isn't bad.
What's the logical link there?
What would be the beneficial use of the Ouija board?
Just put charcuterie on it.
Or D&D.
That'd be fun.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm kind of with Steve in that I don't think the Ouija board on its own is anything dangerous, but the ritual of reaching out via the Ouija board is dangerous. Like any kind of ritual in which you're trying to conjure something sinister or evil. That's not great.
But it's just cardboard.
Yeah, no, anything. I mean, like a candle is a candle until you use it in a seance.
Do you think
that's what I'm saying about the hammers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like
a
seance using a candle and you're reaching out to something that maybe you shouldn't be reaching out to, that's what's dangerous. Ouija board is just like the thing that's been marketed as the thing to reach out to demons. So that's why it has the reputation.
Do you think that the Ouija board can be used as a tool to connect to the other side?
I do.
But he do.
But I do. I think the kinds of things people are reaching out to with the Ouija board are usually not your garden variety ghost that's like your grandma passed away or something. It's usually like fucking Pazuzu or some shit like that. Or
I love Pazuzu.
Or Zozo, the Ouija board demon, something like that.
Who's Zozo?
That's what's so
Zozo.
Are these real?
Zozo is
sounds like I'm making stuff up.
Zozo is actually a real demon.
Okay.
But I'm just saying that's what people who typically are into Ouija boards are using them for.
I think Pazuzu's going to be a Midsummer Scream, right?
I don't know. I think the overlap.
Pazuzu?
The lady who played Pazuzu.
Yeah, I think we might be going to Midsummer Scream. I think their panel overlaps.
I could have sworn Pazuzu going to be there.
These lineups are always so tough. But
have you guys used one on like Unsolved or Ghost Files before?
We have, and we've never had anything happen.
What did you use it for? Or like how?
We used it once to reach out to an alleged demon on Goatman's Bridge. We were reaching
how
out,
could you do that? Like
reaching
knowing
out to
what,
Goatman.
hearing you say what you just said, how could you confidently go in and do that?
We were in assault circle.
We were in assault circle.
Doesn't answer any questions.
They wouldn't let him leave the assault circle.
Okay. Now I'm even more confused.
But other than that, did we use a Ouija board at Bel Air House? Yeah, there was a demon there apparently.
Didn't we use one for
We did use one at
Weird
Bel Air.
Wonderful World?
We used one at Weird Wonderful World
At
in the Mystic Museum.
Mystic
We
Museum.
used one in Ghost Files at the Winchester Mystery Mansion. We used one.
And when we did it at the Mystic Museum, they were just moving it. And they were like, "We're not doing this." And I was like, "You're nice people. I think you're just moving."
No, yeah, that's fair because like anytime Shane and I have done it with just him and I, it does not even move a centimeter or even a semblance of any movement at all. Though, I have seen it in popular media. Like one of the most popular uses of the Ouija board happened in Paranormal Activity, the first one. And in that movie, you actually see the planchette move with nobody touching it.
And that's
Well, wouldn't
really
that
what
be
you
something?
want to see.
And the board catches on fire.
That's funny.
Now, if that happened on a Ghost Files episode, I would be very alarmed.
Dude, yeah, I would probably leave the company if that happened, knowing the...
Steven, what actually would you do if you saw that in person? Like if you went on a Ghost Files episode with us and we were using a Ouija board, we took all hands off and the planchette moved on its own and then caught on fire, would you just leave?
I would pray a lot as I walk away.
And what if it spelled Steven?
Oh, dear Lord.
Steven.
No, that would
Wait, like the demon had pre-laid out gas like Batman in Dark Knight Rises when he gives him the flare? Light it up. And hit the big bat signal on the bridge.
I'm down to go on a Ghost Files hunt if we're like using the spirit box and Estes method to like capture like, I don't know, ghosts or whatever. But like, yeah, again, when it crosses the demon side, I just, no, that would freak me out. I literally would probably like leave on the spot.
I think I would leave too.
There's no way I would stick around for that.
You would stay though, right, Shane?
Yeah.
You really would?
I think that would be the best. You would leave the best thing that ever happened
if
to
it's
you?
a demon and it fucking set my Ouija board on fire. Yeah.
A demon or a ghost has never killed anyone, so I'd just chill, you know?
You would stay, Matt?
I think I'd be very fascinated by what's happening.
Same.
So you would be like, let me give this 5 extra minutes to see how it keeps escalating.
I think I would feel like, we talked about before, like the fun danger of things, like the Matterhorn.
Yes, but that's the Matterhorn. It doesn't
I would
follow.
react the same way.
Do you? Wow, I'm fat. Okay, what would make you leave the house?
I just would. It would take a lot for me to trust it.
Someone with a knife.
Well, if you got
saying,
like,
I'm gonna kill you.
what if you got like pushed, like really shoved into like a wall, and you like people have mentioned that they've been like shoved and actually flown distance.
Yeah.
Would that get you to leave?
I'd probably stay for that because
probably
I'd be
hang
like, "Can you
around
do it
there.
again?"
Yeah, I'd be like, okay, I
long as
just
I'm
want to
not-
make sure that
You're
I
a
wasn't paying
man.
attention that time.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Not fair.
But now, would that turn you into a believer if you saw that?
Sure.
I mean, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Also, I know anytime we say, and Matt, you're included in this. I feel like anytime anyone says like, "Oh no, I'd stick around," people are like, "No way, no, you wouldn't." Yeah, I think I would.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think I would.
I mean, I feel like I've been on enough ghost hunts where like when fun stuff happens, you go, "Ooh, that was fun. Let's
You-
see."
Yeah.
You two are definitely the top 2 people at the company that I think would be scariest if possessed.
Oh hell yeah.
Shane number 1,
That'd be-
and in a distant second, Matt 2. But
Distant.
oh, you would be so scary possessed.
Cool. What would I do?
I don't know.
I'd probably just like piss myself.
We're just bounding
What's
around
scary
with your
about
long
that?
limbs, like, and it's just
piss myself and eat some spiders. Well, that's not that scary.
it's pretty scary.
Lock me in a room.
There's a way I live my life in terms of all of this stuff, and it's kind of a mentality I take from the Bible, and it's this idea of being wise in what is good and innocent in what is evil, and that's how I approach my life, how I approach demons, and I want to pursue the good things in life, and so that's why I have this
What was the
kind of this
verse
cloud
again?
over it. I don't know the exact verse, but that's not the exact
This isn't
quote
like you
either.
recounting the idiom, right? I'm not
No,
gonna go to
it's
the
not.
Bible
No,
and
no.
find-
You'll find this verse somewhere, but it's kind of like the way I handle myself in these situations.
So can you elaborate a little bit on what was it?
Be wise in what is good and innocent in what is evil.
Be wise and
So
what is
can
good.
you like I don't understand that.
Like learn more about virtuous things, being patient, kind, all those things, and then like not exploring
I see.
addictions or whatever, right? Like
see.
I want people to know where I'm coming from and why I may be responding a certain way.
No, that makes sense.
Absolutely. And I think that's what's so fascinating about the Ouija specifically. The people who, like, many people go, I don't want to mess with that. I don't want to mess with that. So you're like tacitly admitting that board by Hasbro does something.
It has power.
It could be used as a tool, but anything could be used as a tool. It's just what the
So can I say I invite Zozo in my body right now?
You probably could.
Probably
I
could.
wouldn't
I
do it.
invite Zozo in my body.
I wouldn't do that.
Oh my God,
I'm
he
getting
invites
outta here.
Zozo.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
I'm getting
Oh
out
my
of here.
God.
Okay, so
That's crazy.
this is where people go, hey, are you a Shaniak or a Bugara? I have no problem with saying I want Zozo in my body.
What's the point of risking that though?
Because I don't fucking think it's
brother.
real.
You don't want Zozo in your body.
Nah, dude. Trust me.
Okay, I guess I'm a Bugara. I guess I'm just a bona fide Bugara then.
You won't now say I want
I'm not
Zozo.
gonna say that.
Say you want Zozo in your
No,
body.
I want
No.
Why
Say
would
you
I
want
ever
Zozo
say
in
that?
your
I
body.
want no in my
Nobody
body. No,
should
no,
do that.
no.
Just say no to Zozo.
But I'm just saying a Ouija
So
board.
Ryan, you won't say I want Zozo.
won't say you
Absolutely
want
not.
Zozo?
I want Zozo, the Ouija board demon, in my body.
No way.
I want Zozo in my body. I've been begging for Zozo.
Get in him.
You know what?
See,
This-
that's what tells me I don't.
This might be the clearest test of a Shaniak versus
Yeah.
Will
Bugara.
you accept Zozo?
That's how you get on the list, will you?
Will you accept Zozo into your life?
Any of the Bugaras that got kicked off the Shaniak team, you can come back, but you have to
You
accept.
gotta accept Zozo.
The thing is, it's just the Ouija board isn't inherently a dangerous. It's a piece of cardboard, but a candle's also a candle until you use it in a seance. Anything that could be anything that's usually used to reach out to something like Zozo, that's why people think it's dangerous, because they know that there's no reason they would have a Ouija board unless that's the most common way to
But
do
I don't
it.
need a Ouija board to accept Zozo.
Technically, you don't, I guess.
You don't, yeah, but it's like it's tied to the intent of it.
It's tied to the intent, and the board is tied
So
to the intent.
you're not willing to say I accept Zozo in my body or I want Zozo in my
No,
body
'cause that'd be a dumb thing to do.
without a Ouija board.
I'm not willing to do that. Period.
Okay.
Agreed.
Can you can you accept Zozo for other people?
No.
We
Could I-
want
could I-
Zozo
no.
and Ryan.
Could I like?
No,
I love
please
it in
don't.
movies. I feel
You know
like
what actually is kind of funny is
What?
that I just made me realize the one demon's one big thing: consent.
That can't be true, though.
No, 'cause
they
the
possess
succubuses?
people.
They need to be invited, though.
No.
That's
Every possession movie has started with somebody playing with the Ouija board, doing something they shouldn't have been doing.
Dude.
And that's them going, all right, I guess I'll come in. It's kind of like in Sinners when it's like, yeah, just let me in there, you know?
I don't think they need to be invited as a Bergara.
This is pretty fucking interesting.
He's looking on Quora.com.
Someone said,
by the
can
way.
demons possess you? It says they does have puss puss?
Oh, boy.
That's an old Quora banger. Does spider have puss puss? No! It says, can demons possess you without permission or without an entry point? And someone said, no. They have to have an open door. But listen to this, Ryan. The Bible says they search around looking for dry places. And you're a dry guy. You were born dry. He was born in the dry.
But I've gotten progressively wetter as I've gotten older.
You have gotten
I'm
wetter.
a very wet.
Yeah,
slick
maybe
guy.
in your underpants.
way more than that, brother.
Now, it is true, even Christians can have a demon due to open doors in their lives. Most commonly, it can be attitudes such as unforgiveness, bitterness, and resentment towards other people. You've got a lot of that.
Uh-oh.
You're the most
Bitter.
resentful, bitter person I know. And it can also be self-destructive behaviors like drugs, alcohol, and sexual sin. Oh, brother.
I'm heavily possessed then. But I think in the sense of like a zozo demon, then yeah, I don't. There has to be some meddling.
I don't think that Zozo could come at me without the Ouija board if it was the Ouija board demon.
He's purported to be linked to the.
We have a Ouija board here, right?
I'm not touching that shit. Fucking.
Someone in...
If you guys reach out to that fucking demon right now with that board, I will leave.
Where's
this
the
room.
board? Do we got a board here?
I'm
Yeah.
going to leave this room.
I'll leave with you.
You'll leave the room?
I will leave the room.
Fuck yeah.
I will leave the room.
You're not going to
This is really telling me where I stand on things.
It is. And it's telling me where I stand too, as a
Look,
middle.
and
Is
I'll
there
say,
like- is there
I
like
could
a
look at the
magic-
camera right now and I could say, like, could I guarantee something's going to happen? No. But could I guarantee something's not going to happen? Also, no. So why take the risk?
Also, I'm not. I mean, I have a baby coming. I have a wife. I'm not bringing that stuff home with
I think
me.
in Zozo's case, I can guarantee that if you don't reach out to it.
That's part of it too. It's like,
Yeah.
but if you're convinced that they're not real, which I am,
Yeah.
then do you owe it to other people to show them that you're going to be fine, even if I say I summon Zozo?
Yeah.
You know,
I guess I
or
wouldn't
is
tell
that
Zozo.
callous and
Yeah.
inconsiderate?
I
Do you have to bend to the idea that this thing that's never been proven is real? If someone's like, well, I believe there's a...
Well, what do you do? What do you do? Do you like when you're at dinner or something and someone wants to lead a prayer? You participate.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
It's
just, you
just
can just
kindness.
leave your eyes open, you know? You don't have to say anything.
No, yeah, you put the head down, you let them say, that's if someone
Just
wants
consider
to
it.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I won't ask Zozo
I'm not like,
to
well, by the way,
yeah.
mess with me.
It's your prerogative what you want to do with your life. I will walk out the room if I need to. I'm not like
Okay.
yeah.
That's where I stand too. I don't have to partake in the
I'm just so
tomfoolery.
surprised. I'm just so surprised. I guess I'm learning more about myself than I am you all. So anyway, I got into some information about the Ouija because your main question was, how did it go from something that people use to like a toy that people sell?
And then a toy
Yeah,
that
makes
people sell that is then used to contact the devil
Right. Or Zozo or whoever.
or whoever. Yeah.
So the Ouija, also known as the spirit board, witch board, or talking board, the flat board. This is stuff, just information I pulled.
I like talking.
It uses a planchette, which is the small heart-shaped piece, as a movable indicator to spell out messages during a seance. You put fingers on the planchette and it's moved about the board to spell out words. Many people think, obviously, that the spirits are moving it, but some of us think that it's each other. Essentially, that's it, right?
I think so.
It is based in Chinese, the Fuji. You familiar with Fuji or planchette writing?
no.
What?
So they actually...
My people started this?
Some gorgeous planchettes out there.
Yeah, and I don't know what planchettes are used for outside.
Some
of-
gorgeous blanchettes out there as well.
Oh.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
Fuji, which is the planchette writing, spirit writing, is a religious practice in Chinese religions where messages from deities, ancestors, spirits are conveyed through a wooden or metal stylus. So in his sand, I found this information, which was very cool.
That's cool.
This is a Chinese planchette that they found. And I think two different people would grab the long arms, and then the shorter arm would be in sand.
We're seeing right now, it's sort of it looks wooden.
It probably is wooden.
It looks
Beautiful
wooden,
red carved planchette with a dragon. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like almost like a metal dragon head that connects 3 legs of wooden pieces.
It's crazy
Yeah.
looking.
So Fuji is a form of automatic writing. Automatic writing is what they call it.
So does that lend itself to the etymology of Ouija?
I don't think so. I don't
Yeah.
think so. But this is how it was used, that little planchette. You can see it right
Oh,
there.
it's bigger than I thought.
Yes, yeah. So this is a little diorama. This is like a little
The little
diorama
diorama.
of what it would look like when they were using this Fuji writing. So pretty fascinating. Very similar. Very similar.
So I was watching a documentary the other day of, it was about the Titanic, and they had mentioned that Titanic was one of the most recognized words in the world. I bet you Ouija is up there because it was Titanic, Coca-Cola. There was another word, but Ouija, I feel like, because there was a movie just titled Ouija.
Yeah. That's a good
There was
point.
also a movie titled Titanic. You're right.
But it does seem to be a cross-cultural thing. I wonder if it's up there in the most recognized words in the world.
I don't think so.
I'll look it up.
Do you think?
It says right here, Titanic, xenomorph.
Very good.
Interesting.
Which of the room right there? Which of the room?
No.
Titanic, one of the most recognized. Coca-Cola. Yeah.
Makes
That's-
sense.
What a good logo.
Would you be interested in a impromptu quiz time?
Oh, okay, sure.
Oh, here he goes.
Could you hit the?
Oh, he's got one. Oh.
So I was correct.
Wait, hang on. You have to give the title to your quiz.
Well, no. Here we go. Titanic is the
No,
third.
you're already
No,
giving
give a
information.
name.
No. But this is preface.
Well,
for the
don't
question.
have him do the noise then.
Well, this is the question though. Titanic is the third most recognized word in the world.
You
You're
hear
breaking
that
the
happening?
rules, Ryan.
Come on.
After Coca-Cola, but there's one above Coca-Cola. Do you know what it is? The most recognized
God
word.
damn it.
Let him stop.
Say it when it's done.
Yeah. What is the most easily recognizable word in the English language? Language. I said language, right?
You had 3 tries to nail it. Language.
So it's what?
Titanic is number 3.
I have a guess.
Coca-Cola is
I've got some
2,
guesses.
I think.
I've got some
number
guesses.
1 is
I got one guess. Can I go first?
Hang on.
in the English language.
Can
What's
I
the most
submit
recognizable
like
word?
5 guesses?
You get one guess.
No.
Yeah, let's go around the
So
horn.
it's what? It's Titanic.
Let's
It's-
keep
It's
guessing.
Titanic, Coca-Cola, and then there's a number
I
1.
think
Let's
I know
keep
the answer.
guessing until
In
one of
English.
us gets it.
Oh, that's fun.
I think Steven, Steven, do you want to go first?
Are these like proper
do you want,
nouns?
you know what, Shane, you go first.
Are these proper nouns? Because
It could-
Titanic, that's a proper noun. You know.
Yeah, in English
Coca-Cola
language.
is a brand.
But it's in the English language. Like, I'm sure.
Any word in the English language.
Yeah.
I've got a few guesses. I'll first go with Jesus.
That is incorrect.
Yeah, I was about to
Everybody
say this.
knows that guy.
That's true. They do know they know that guy. My turn?
Yep.
I'm gonna go with McDonald's.
No, but that's
That's
What?
really good.
How is that not number 1?
I don't really have a guess. I'm past my guess. And I'll keep thinking.
Hello. The word hello.
It is not that. But you were pretty close in your first one, Shane.
Ooh. And then you said what now?
Ooh.
I said Jesus.
Oh.
God?
Yeah, it's God.
Oh.
Oh,
That's stupid.
It makes sense though.
interesting.
Sure.
It does.
It is funny that
Every-
it's
It
like
actually makes
that
less
fucking,
sense
that
to me.
fucking
The most
glory
recognizable
boy
is
up there.
God and Coca-Cola. I just think that's super
That's America,
kind of indicative
baby.
of America at large. I
Yeah,
think.
why I wouldn't think it would be God is because so many names for God.
That's true. That's true.
The big guy. I thought it would be something like Michael Jackson. You
Yeah.
know, the king of pop.
Yeah.
You know.
More information on the Ouija board, excuse me. I don't like saying Ouija.
Ouija.
Ouija. Yes, there was a growing movement of spiritualism in the 1840s. There were seances that were hosted by mediums that would make contact with the deceased. The medium would have tools that were manipulated by the spirits, such as these writing boards, musical instruments, and bells. Now that'd be fun to get a musical instrument played by.
We had a dead bell in one of our Ghost Files episodes this
We did.
season.
We did.
People wondered how it worked, and we didn't have much of an explanation, but it would do a little ding when a ghost would.
It was one of those. It was the same thing as a REM
Fondle
pod.
it
It's
or
very
whatever.
similar tech to a REM pod. Instead
Yeah.
of noise, it has a little physical
Ding.
trigger that hits
It
the
goes,
bell.
But that would be more conclusive, right?
Oh no, it's the same thing as a REM pod.
Yeah, but that's digital.
Yeah, it has a mechanism inside.
Inside.
It wasn't like you had to hit it.
Oh.
So
No, but I wish we talked about this at VidCon because I wanted to bring it up. Because you guys both had you and D-Dude had your bells.
Yeah.
And then you just had to like tune it differently to make it more active. So I was
There-
like, oh,
There's sensitivity.
that seems a little bit.
We actually turned it all the way
ah.
down because it wouldn't shut up.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
There's a sensitive, like it's basically sensitivity is just think of it as range. Like you're actually like extending the range that like of the field of EMF.
I wish they could is there a thing they could put on someone's arm that would detect if they were using their muscles in any way to
What?
move? Because I would love to just see if a Ouija board could move on its own at any point.
Like a power
It's
glove.
one of those things where it's like a power glove.
You know what you could do is
What?
hook up people on a Ouija board to a polygraph.
Yeah, but those can be
but
fake as
polygraphs
well.
are
Those
fake.
can be
Yeah, but
fake.
I imagine the person that's going to be able to manipulate a polygraph is not going to be the person.
Well, I have some information about that. About like some
Oh.
tests that they've done to
I see.
disprove. the
Okay,
Ouija board.
buckle up.
So I want to say Jen from Boston-ish is what you said. Sent some information in about the Ouija, and then so did Amanda.
okay.
Sent me some information which I really appreciated on the Ouija board. But anyway, so because of the popularity of spirit boards and the capital to be gained, they were very, very successful. But the most famous was the Ouija, patented July 19th, 1892 by William Fuld from Baltimore. Eventually, it was so popular, not just for talking to random dead, but also for communicating with loved ones on the front of World War I and II. After sales boomed in each World War, the Great Depression, and the 1960s revival of all things paranormal, the Parker brothers bought the trademark, which has been since inherited by Hasbro.
Interesting.
Yeah, this this feels like
It checks out.
This does check out. It's sort of national trauma.
Mhm.
People trying to grapple with it and deal with it however they can.
I was just watching a documentary on how world wars have influenced like movie eras and stuff like that
they make
too.
movies about the world wars. Then
No, not so much that, but just like why musicals stopped in like after the boom of them in like the early 30s after the war. People just weren't,
and they were
looking-
expensive.
they were.
Did you watch
expensive.
the same video as me?
I did.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how like it just people weren't as into a fantastical world in which people break out into song after a gruesome war. And I thought that's all very interesting to me. It makes sense.
What, it was like the age of hyperrealism.
Yeah, just because like if you go through something as gnarly as that, I can't imagine it's like let's start tap dancing.
Why do you think
Let's
Gen Z
paint our wagons.
so into the TikTok dances? Then what's going on there?
We'll have to figure that out on the next What the Kid's Doing.
Yeah.
We'll get back to that. But Amanda Whitman, thank you so much for some of this information as well, who had written about the Ouija board and the Magic 8 Ball and said, I've done some research on this. Here you go.
I remember a Magic 8 Ball.
Very kind. That'll be a different episode because that's got some
I
fascinating
love the noise it
information.
makes.
It makes a noise.
Well, yeah, when you shake it, a magic 8 ball.
Just like little,
You mean like the water inside of it or whatever?
The
hell's-
water and the little hex, the little dyad thing in there, the hexagonal.
Yeah.
The,
Yeah, it's like a squishy.
it makes a
slurp.
great noise.
Yeah, I thought you meant like an actual like noise that it produces on purpose. You know, like
no.
Like a
So,
jingle.
No.
and moving back to the Ouija, it was very popular and a fun thing for quite a long time.
okay.
This is from the Saturday Evening Post. This is a Norman Rockwell painting.
Look at them.
and they're enjoying talking to the dead. Isn't that fascinating?
That's all. Yeah.
What's even more fascinating is they just have the board on their laps.
Yeah, right.
So that's the way to do
Not a
it.
very stable surface.
Well, Zozo don't need all that much.
Looks like Zozo already got to her.
Yeah, she's got Zozo vibes.
She's looking up into the ceiling.
But isn't that weird? Because now you wouldn't really see something like this.
No, you definitely would not. No.
People are freaked out by it. If you given one national event
Mhm.
that changed the opinion of the Ouija board or cultural experience,
Oh.
I would have to say The Exorcist, right?
The president dying.
Oh, like JFK?
I don't know.
and his last
Yeah,
words were
some-
"It me Zozo."
The moon landing. I'm trying to think of like big events.
I feel like it's Exorcist.
Was the moon landing perhaps so like, wow, science is back?
I'm just trying to think of what event could have taken the reputation of the Ouija board as kind of like a spiritualist tool to
Is this
talking to evil forces. And I feel like Exorcist is the first instance in which that happened, in which somebody used it and it had negative consequences.
The shift in the public perception, this is Amanda's writing, thank you so much. The shift in the public perception of the Ouija board is often attributed to the 1973 film The Exorcist,
There it is, yeah.
which was marketed as the scariest movie all time. The film's young protagonist, Regan, is shown playing with the Ouija board and interacting with an unseen entity named Captain Howdy. Captain Howdy, you're also welcome in my body.
Come on in, Captain Howdy. I love
You gotta talk to
Pazuzu.
Zozo.
Pazuzu's so funny.
It is alluded that this communing by the use of the Ouija board is the inciting incident which opens the door for her to be possessed by a demon. So if you're saying that she needed a door.
There it is.
It opened it. Yeah, it's these demons pretty militant. Even thinking about like this is not a Ouija board, but Hellraiser. She just opened a box by accident.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very similar Pandora's
It's a
box.
pretty
But
involved
she
box.
started doing the puzzle box though, right? The little puzzle
Well,
cube.
She didn't start doing it, but she
Come on.
no, I think it was pretty accidental. Even when like the Cinnabites come out, she's like,
I'll
it's
tell you
just
what.
it's just a puzzle box.
That's going to be a fun one to watch with Steven because
Ooh.
there is no joy in those Hellraiser films.
My God.
They are so freaky that he's going to lose his mind.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty rough.
When the chatterer comes up.
I do like that guy though. I like how he chatters.
Or
always.
CD head, whatever his name is.
I
Yeah.
just want to give him like a stick of celery or something.
CD.
Just watch him just go to town on that shit.
I'll be calling in sick that day.
Nah, dude.
I forgot about that show actually.
Screaming
you're
Room,
gonna love
baby.
it.
My new favorite show at Watcher. Literally. I love it. Yeah.
And a funny thing about the Ouija board was that there was a pink version released in 2008.
Pink?
Pink.
Like the
Yeah.
singer or like.
Yeah.
She was
I'm
doing
gonna call.
That's what she's doing at her concerts.
And then as Zozo gets in your body, you can go, well, so what? That's
Very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
Oh, damn it. Wrong.
Oh, wrong one.
I think. Freudian.
But yes, there was a pink Ouija board. Where is it? Oh, sorry. Let me go
Pink
back.
like the sheets that I lay on? Pink like my favorite crayon?
There was a lot of commercials though, even past The Exorcist, marketed towards kids
Let's hear it.
for the Ouija.
Let's see it.
So let's
And
watch
hear it.
this one. now.
1991.
You're moving it. No, I'm not.
It's
You're
asking
moving
questions.
it.
Will my parents let me go to the concert?
You're moving it. Would you just quiet? I'm trying to concentrate here, and I'm not moving it.
It's only a game, isn't it?
Moving it.
Oh, so they're trying to wash the stink off.
Interesting.
But they're just asking very innocuous questions. Will my parents let me go to the concert?
Well, they're kids. What are they going to ask?
But the question is, who are they talking to?
Is my grandpa
Are they
doing
talking-
well in hell?
Like, who are they talking to?
But I do think the marketing of it towards kids is a really fascinating thing because a lot of what makes it so popular is that question about, is it, actually just fun?
I don't love it. I don't love the marketing towards kids. Even as a skeptic, Shane, I could imagine that you would have some issue with a major corporation marketing ghost hunting to your kid.
No, that's fine.
You're like, the trials and tribulations and the dangers of ghost hunting because it becomes a career.
I would just tell them that it's baloney and fun. It's a toy,
I just feel like it's dirty. It feels dirty to me.
Also, a lot of ghost hunting is like dangerous on its own.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
But this
like a toy.
commercial isn't like go ghost hunting. It's
No,
like,
no.
It's the gateway,
pretend you're
though.
talking to a, no, do it.
Here's the pink Ouija board.
Look at
That's
that.
very adorable.
Supposedly intended to appeal to tween girls who would take the Ouija board to slumber parties to play along with other creepy games such as Bloody Mary and Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board. Instead, it caused a whole lot of controversy on all sides. Many faith-based groups condemned the game due to its occult nature and Hasbro's attempt to market it to children.
Who
What's-
Much like you were
cares?
just
What's
saying.
light as a feather? Stiff as
That's
a
where
board?
everybody puts their fingers under someone and you like allegedly lift them up. We can talk about that some other time. I've always been curious about it. I don't think it's real, but then I've heard people be like, no, it works. It's like the way everybody's weight is distributed or something. I don't know.
What? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
We should
Huh.
do that.
And obviously other people were upset with the fact that it was just sexist for marketing it towards
It's pink.
girls and being pink.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Was this the 90s?
This was
2000?
2008.
Oh, that's a little,
Mm.
yeah.
What?
Kind of on the cusp of being able to
But
do
also,
that.
if you're having like a slumber party in your teens, don't you want the old, scary, creepy one?
Well, that's the thing.
You know?
That is true.
Why would you?
Yeah, that's kind of like going against type there.
Yeah.
If you didn't want the old, scary, creepy one and you wanted this one, you could find it oftentimes on eBay for $300.
$300. Wow.
The scientific explanation
Yes.
for it. A 2012 study found that when answering yes or no questions, Ouija use was significantly more accurate than guesswork, suggesting that it might draw on the unconscious mind. You might be answering your own questions there.
Oh, kind of like when you flip a coin to see which outcome you want. So when it's in the air, you kind of know which one you want it to land on.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
It's like that episode of Friends.
Is this suggesting that you could influence that?
It's like it's accessing the part of your mind that's like when you're asking the question to some like unknown force on the board, you have an answer you'd like it to say. And it gets you like closer to like, oh, I know kind of what my desires are. Like if you're like, oh, should I go to the concert or not go to the concert? Let's flip a coin. And then in the air, you have one, you're like, oh, I hope it lands on this. It lets you know what you really want.
Not at all like that.
No, it's like that. Yes, it is. It's like when Phoebe and Rachel are together. Rachel takes a pregnancy test. Phoebe looks at it and says, sorry, you're not pregnant. And Rachel goes, oh, thank God. Oh. Then she realizes that she wanted a baby. And then Phoebe goes, just kidding, you're pregnant.
I want to do an entire series where
I
Steven just reads friend scripts.
That really did help me, Steven. I think
You
I
got
understand
it?
what you're
Yeah.
saying. So that they know what their answer is and they're moving it towards that.
It's like, yeah, exactly.
They subconsciously
Exactly.
know, and this accesses your subconscious the way a coin flip would.
Gotcha.
Making a decision helps you make a decision.
I thought you were suggesting that the coin flip, you could influence it while it's in the air.
No,
I
no,
hate
no.
this.
No, it just lets you know what your subconscious is hoping for.
I don't mean this podcast at large. I just mean it's just a toy. Who cares? Shut up
But that's
about-
interesting. That isn't that interesting though. That it. I mean,
but the way you see it is just as a toy.
Yeah.
And the way I
an
see it
objective toy.
is it's tied to the intent of trying to open the demonic
I agree.
world.
I know, but
Some critics have noted that the messages ostensibly spelled out by the spirits were similar to whatever was going through the minds of the subjects, such as where a knife was hidden in the room by one of the participants. In one study, researchers used cameras to monitor the eye movements of board users, noting eye direction predicted where the board would
I
go.
was going to say it'd be interesting to have people do this blindfolded.
Mhm.
See what happens then.
According to a professor of neurology, Terrence Hines, in his book Pseudoscience and the Paranormal,
Love it.
the
Sounds
planchette is guided by an unconscious muscular exertions like those responsible for table movement. Nonetheless, in both cases, the illusion that the object, table, or planchette is moving under its own control is often extremely powerful and sufficient to convince many people that spirits are truly at work. The unconscious muscle movements responsible for the moving tables and Ouija board phenomena seen at seances are examples of a class of phenomena due to what psychologists call a dissociative state. A dissociative state is one in which consciousness is somehow divided or cut off from some aspects of an individual's normal cognitive, motor, or sensory function.
That's crazy. It's weird to me to imagine that you could be subconsciously moving it, because anytime we've put our fingers on that thing together,
Zero movement.
even when we're like zero movement, and then when we even do like feign movement a little bit, like it does feel like such a conscious, willful choice.
I agree. Yeah.
Because then you're like moving it real slow. I don't know.
Personally, I don't like, and I just aside from like what the Ouija board represents and who you would be reaching out to, I don't like any paranormal devices where it counts on user movement.
Oh, like the
dowsing rods, or dowsing rods is probably the main one. Dowsing rods, Ouija boards. I'm trying to think if there's another one that's kind of in that same vein.
Like the pendulum?
Pendulum. It's just, it feels like once you introduce the human movement element to it,
all bets are off.
you're leaving it to whether or not it's now become trustworthiness of that person.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I remember when we did dowsing rods over, I believe we did this in, I want to say it was
Castle Chillingham.
No, I think the first time we did it on an Unsolved, I think it was at Penhurst.
It was, yeah.
And I actually duct taped them, both the dowsing rods, to a filing cabinet, and we asked questions that way. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
They didn't move.
No.
So it's a lot of it is based on, user stuff. I know dowsing rods are used to find water, which is interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
And apparently it does somewhat work. But again, like a lot of that is just based off of like someone slightly moving their hand, whether they're doing consciously or not. So I don't know. Those are always, as pieces of evidence for me, it's always tough for me to take those very, very seriously, especially because I know it's never going to convince Shane. So much of my stuff is like, is this going to convince Shane? It won't. Okay, then there's no point in using it.
Yeah.
It's so thoughtful of you.
That's very
No,
sweet
it's
of
just
you.
because I don't want to waste
Very
either of our time. And I know that if Shane thinks that way, there's half the audience that at least thinks that way. Then it's like, then they're like rolling their eyes at home too. And we still have some roll your eyes devices that Shane hates, like the Ovilus and the Spirit Box. But
They're fun enough.
I do think the Ovilus is a little bit, I don't know. I was less convinced of it as a tool in the last season, personally.
But I will say that, like, at least with the Ovilus and the Spirit Box, the data points presented from that don't have anything to do with me and my
That's
operation of them.
That's fair.
In terms of like the things that actually come out of
Is
them.
there anything you can do to actually manipulate that?
No.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't know what it reads. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't. Yeah, you would have to be a coder of some sort or something like that.
Yeah.
Same thing with EVPs, things you catch on camera. There's nothing we can really. I mean, unless people are faking it quite literally, but yeah.
Right.
Which one's the Ovilus?
Ovilus is like the little box.
Devil.
Potato. Yeah.
It's from Digital Dowsing.
Nerd.
God dang, the price of this mother.
Yeah. Ironically, the company's name is Digital Dowsing.
That's fine.
How much does the one cost?
Well, the Ghost Stop one is $600.
It's 600. I think that should be on. It's on V5 now, I believe. So, Ovilus 5B.
Crazy.
So that's the Ouija. That's the information I got on the Ouija. A little fascinating, just in terms of
Let us know what you think about the Ouija in the comments.
Let us
Hey,
know
ever
if you
used
would
one? You
accept
ever-
Zozo.
Do you accept Zozo? Have you ever used one of these? Did you genuinely believe that you were communing with Zozo, Jesus, anyone from? Can you also contact good spirits with this thing, or is it just demons?
Theoretically, you can contact
Anybody,
your
yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Is contacting good spirits ill-advised?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean,
So
There
would
is-
you all use a Ouija to talk to a good spirit?
no need.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is the some people believe there's the risk that if you open the door to one thing, you open it to everything. I don't know how much I believe in that. If that's the truth, then I'm fucked. But I choose to not believe in that because it's scary.
So if you were a medium, you could be like, I'm a spectral bouncer, and you need to hire me so that I will keep the good things in, or
I guess in a way, yeah, you could see it like you could
It's a
see it
bad
like
thing.
that maybe. Actually, out of curiosity, I've never actually posed an open-ended question to the audience in this manner. But if you're a skeptic, you're a Shaniac out there, what would it take for you to believe in terms of like seeing something on a ghost special like ours or anybody's?
I'm going to guess a lot of them would say the same as me, which is to see a ghost.
Yeah, but I still think so many people, if we had a full-bodied apparition on our show, so many people would then immediately question our authenticity.
Well, I've said it before, I'll say it again, even to the Shaniacs, if you ever see me say that I believe in ghosts or that I witnessed something with my eyes, I would not be lying to you. That is probably the best proof that you can get without directly witnessing something.
Well, because I didn't even know for you personally. You need to see it. You need to be there. We have friends who are ghost hunters. I won't name any of them, but if they were to catch a full-bodied apparition in their videos, I still think you probably would not believe
No,
it.
I wouldn't. No, I don't
So-
believe any ghost hunters.
That's why I feel like anybody in the comments, they're probably still going to say, like, even if you guys catch it, like
And that's fine.
Well, that's why I do really like what you guys do and what D-Tune does, because it's all live. It's all there's no curtain of what you guys are doing. It's all real.
it's interpretation. That's why I
yeah.
said that at the end of the episodes.
Yeah.
It's not our job to interpret.
But I did find it funny that like D-Tune's favorite evidence was like him a ball rolling, and I was like, come on, a
These are the
ball
things
is
people get
rolling.
excited about. you know?
That'll be on the VidCon episode. That is Ryan and D-Tune both bring their favorite pieces of evidence.
That was a fun time.
It's a fun episode, and you'll see that maybe next week, maybe
Yeah.
the one after that.
Very fun.
Great, that'll do it for our conversation about the Ouija. Let's get into some comments from.
And
our
we
last-
close this session.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, goodbye.
Okay.
Goodbye.
I was like tight during that conversation. You guys summoning Zozo. I was like, oh God, please stop.
Tight where?
Everywhere.
Okay.
Whole body tight.
HBT.
W.
This was a comment echoing.
Wait, what the fuck? Yeah, wait, we just skimmed right over that.
I wasn't paying
I was
attention.
thinking of the other hole.
Holes tight.
Yeah.
BH as buddy holes tight. All right. Matt, take it away.
Let's do a little bit of mailbag. It's time for the I almost called it Pod Watcher. Get Scared mailbag.
Yeah.
Do you have any if you have any questions you would like to leave us a voicemail at 818-275-4585, you can send us an email at askwatcherpods@gmail.com. You can also send us a message on Instagram at GetScaredPod.
It looks like you went into a fugue state as you delivered all
Zozo
that.
had that info.
That was the Zozo coming in.
Zozo, get in here. I need a break.
All right, what do we got
It would be
today?
very funny if Zozo did a good job. Like, can we hire him?
No,
Yeah,
Matt,
to
the
help us
expression
out?
Matt did, I do all the time.
What?
Just, when you close your eyes, I do it all the time at home. I'm like, what was I thinking or
Yeah,
about
trying
to
to
do
think.
again? What was I about to do again?
Too much shit. Someone in the audience is going to go, that's how we know he has ADHD.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
People say that all the time to me, but I don't know. We got a comment last time. This was from John 6, who said, no, St. Thomas Aquinas, this is about the pets. Can come back as ghost questions. St. Thomas Aquinas says that the souls of animals are material and not spiritual like ours. The souls of animals are irrational and cannot consciously exist after death. So,
Feels rude.
kind of the final word on that.
St. Thomas Aquinas.
Who's St. Thomas Aquinas? Is that
I'll
a
tell you now.
Was he a philosopher? What was this guy's deal?
He probably didn't have a pee-pee man at home.
What's Aquinas up to?
Yeah, no pets, probably.
Yeah, this guy doesn't get it.
What was Aquinas? What was Aquinas' deal?
Apparently, being
Theologian,
the
philosopher.
number one buzzkill at the church.
Oh, he was an Italian priest, a Dominican friar, the foremost scholastic thinker,
Great.
and one of the most influential philosophers and theologians in the Western tradition. Yeah.
well,
You hear him being tossed around a lot.
Well, I
Um,
guess that's why he sounds like my Nana, who says you can't have ghost dog. This is a message. One of you all can read. This is a comment from
This is a long one.
I can read it.
Okay, Ryan, take it away.
I Believe in You.
This comes from Kilvarian.
Kilvarian?
Kavarian.
Bavarian.
Bergara here. Months after my 8-year-old was born, my rescue cat got very sick and had to be put to sleep. Ruptured bladder. I'm very
Yikes.
sorry to hear that. We had him cremated and for a while tucked his urn in the top drawer of our son's dresser in his nursery because we didn't have a place for it.
Okay.
I know people are always seriously eager to discount orbs, but just hear me out. Our monitor didn't pick up dust, and I've never seen dust do this. Every night at the same time, shortly after 3 a.m., a bright little ball would jump down off of the dresser in the nursery. I wish we'd thought to record it, but this was nightly and went on for months. Our kitten at the time would play with someone who wasn't there, and there were countless nights when we'd go to bed, the kitten up by my face, and we'd feel a cat jump on the bed at our feet, where my tail always curled up to sleep, except there was nothing there. I do believe it was my cat.
That's very sweet. I also wish you thought to record that.
I agree, but I mean, I will say, a legit orb is supposed to produce its own light source. So a bright little ball, yeah, maybe that's promising.
That's true. If it's bright and it had its own, if it was making shadows and stuff.
I've
then-
personally never seen a real orb, a legit one. I've seen dust and bugs all the time, but
bugs, a lot of bugs.
do you guys have orbs in your eyes when you like look around? Like you could see the little
Like
floaties.
floaters? No.
Yeah, I have those floaties in my eyes.
You got LASIK, bro.
And by the way, my vision is nice.
I thought you were going to say it's not good.
Well, it sounds like it's full of orbs. though.
By the way, I
But
can't
that's
see
not-
shit. Floaters all day.
Nothing to do with the LASIK, but yeah, I have. Whoa. Yeah, I see them. I still see them. Yeah.
You still got floaters in your eyes?
little floaties. Yeah.
What if you saw Zozo?
Come on.
Zozo floating in there?
Zozo left a floater in my eye.
me in. Let me in. He's just.
I wish we thought to record it, but it was nightly and went on for months.
See,
that's
that's a little-
where I'm a little like, wait, you had
could've.
months,
You had months.
but also, yeah. I mean, I
Well,
understand.
I hope it's your cat. That would be nice. It's tough to lose a pet.
It is very tough.
Yeah, it would be nice to be your cat.
And then I guess it stopped after a while when the cat went in that big suck tube to the sky.
Yep.
The Rainbow Bridge
Yeah.
is what
The
you're
Rainbow
talking
Bridge is the slash suck.
This is actually
Rainbow suck tube.
But thank you for writing Kavarian. Is that what we settled on?
Kilvarian.
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 good
about.
name.
Okay, and then the last thing, we have a call from Kara.
Kara,
Nice,
you're
nice.
on the line.
Well, no.
I mean, you
We're
left
playing-
this
we're
message.
playing your voicemail.
Kara, you left this message.
Hi, Shane and Steven and Ryan
Hi.
and Matt. My name is Kara, and I'm from Iowa, and I am calling in to defend something other people think is gross, and I think is great. Raw foods. So, hear me out. When I was younger, I worked in a restaurant that had frozen biscuits, and I would love to eat the biscuit dough raw. And everyone else thought that was disgusting. But same with, like, I feel like cookie dough is a socially acceptable one. Like, most people think that cookie dough is fine. But, like, cake batter, I love to eat cake batter before it goes in the oven, brownie batter, all that stuff. Everyone else thinks it's gross, and I think it's delicious. So, let me hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kara. That
Thank
sounds
you.
like something they really had to get off their chest.
Yeah, it
I
sounds like you
like
just
Kara.
had
There was
their
a
cake batter on
confessional
you.
tone to
I
that.
really like Kara's energy.
That was really fun. Cookie dough's about as far as I go with that.
Is it dangerous?
Raw eggs.
There's raw eggs in it.
That's the
what it
main
was.
thing.
Okay.
But you can drink them.
But in Japan,
Rocky drink a raw.
you
Rocky
eat raw
doesn't.
eggs all the time.
Yeah, I
That's-
think it's like not
true.
advised, but it's not the most dangerous thing in the world. I don't know. Look it up. Cookie dough's delicious, of course.
We don't advise you to eat raw foods, cookie dough and or biscuit dough. But Kara seems to think
Biscuit
it's
dough,
fine.
I've never had raw. I don't think I've had a lot of raw dough in my life. No, just cookie dough. Cookie dough's great.
No, I actually thought when Kara was talking about raw, they were going to go into like sushi and stuff like that. But
Yeah, sushi good.
I like the raw meat stuff.
yeah, like raw meat. Like I love steak tartare. It's gotten me sick though 2 times, and I still love it.
You're watching Shane squirm around in his seat.
No, I'm great.
You gotta
Shane-
pee.
Is that about it for this
Well,
one?
I want to say
Shane
one
has
real
to
quick in
pee
the car.
really bad.
We're Kara, one thing. I'm just stalling you. No, but actually, I'm all for it. But just know where your ingredients are coming from.
Mhm.
Make sure they're from a safe place.
Don't
That's
do like
the
raw
main
milk,
thing.
you know?
Yeah.
Like all those people are doing.
We don't suggest
that'll
you do
kill you.
anything wrong.
And know the risks. Know what you're getting yourself into. You could get sick.
Shane, what do you think about steak tartare?
I love it. It's really good. It's really good. Wow, it's been a really scary episode. I think we all agree. I'm not just wrapping it up because I got to pee real bad. I think it just feels like the natural end of the episode. So if you haven't, give us a rating on your podcast app of choice where you can find all the episodes. If you want to listen to these episodes ad free, you can listen to them every week on Watcher TV, where we post them, sometimes a little extended if there's stuff that's too hot for the other platforms. If you haven't given us a rating, give us a review. If you haven't subscribed, that's also very helpful and goes a long way. I think that's going to do it for this week. We'll see you next time, everybody.
Bye.